Joining us now is Congressman Mike Lawler, who was at the dinner. He is a Republican from New York. All right. So what did you take away? Sorry for the cliche, but when you were thinking about the aftermath and your presence where you were, what did you take away from it, Congressman?
Well, my wife and I were in the middle of the room. And as you know, Bill, you can't move in that room once you're seated. And so it makes it a real challenge to, get up and get around. And so what we heard was a pop and then a bunch of plates and trays falling to the ground. And then the Secret Service flooding into the room to secure the president and ultimately get him, the vice president, the cabinet secretaries out of the room. And what we were left with was a lot of chaos and confusion because you didn't know if somebody was actually in the room or whether or not, there was an active threat. And as you pointed out, I mean, the reporting that was taking place from within the room was inaccurate in a lot of cases. And so it was hard to get the facts.
Okay, so how did your wife handle it? Was she panicked or how did she handle
it? She was unnerved. And so, obviously I was concerned about her in that moment. We also have two young kids. We have a 4-year-old and an 18-month-old. So your thoughts are on that, in that type of situation. But, as we got more information and clarity, obviously everybody was in a calmer state, but it's still unnerving, especially, when your spouse is there.
Sure. And you're not used to this kind of stuff unfolding right before your eyes. Do you see any political implications coming out of this?
Well, look, the Secret Service did a very good job on the perimeter of the ballroom, obviously stopping the individual in his tracks, and getting the president. But I do think there's a real problem with these types of large-scale events. There was no ID required to get in. There was no security really checking any list whatsoever to verify that somebody should be on the grounds. You had no magnetometers anywhere throughout the building except right outside the ballroom. And the fact that this gentleman was able to get from the 10th floor down a vacant stairwell to the ballroom area obviously is disconcerting. So I think, number one, how security is handled at these large-scale events needs to be reevaluated. And number two, to the point of, the president, this is the third public attempt on his life. And I don't think people are taking it serious enough. I can tell you I'm very active in my district. I've done close to 2,000 events in person in district. I take my safety and security seriously because, frankly, people are unhinged today. And the fact that, in this type of setting with 3,000 people in a ballroom, that, somebody was able to get within vicinity after you've already had two separate attempts on the president's life, I think it speaks to where and how these events take place. And I do think it justifies what the president is trying to do on the White House grounds. You could never get into the White House with a loaded gun.
As I said,
that really is the point.
You can't vote against it now, and the judges will stop the nonsense and they'll okay it, particularly because it doesn't cost the taxpayer anything. Do you, in your career, have you seen a change on the psyche of the American people from when you started? Because there's always been, obviously, partisan hatred, always in this country, till now. Have you seen it get worse?
No question. Frankly, people don't even want to be in the room with people they disagree with. And it's sad. People seem to believe that political violence is the solution to political differences. And rather than engage in honest and robust debate and discussion and duke it out at the ballot box, they seem to believe the ends justify the means. And so I think it's a big problem that we are grappling with as a country. I think social media has been so destructive in our political discourse. People latch on to the quote unquote influencers who are frankly grifting and fueling the rage in this country rather than actually engaged in thoughtful and honest debate. And that's really driving so much of this vitriol and hatred that we see that is just, permeated our politics.
It's not just them, though. It's like, it's Raskin. You know Raskin, right?
Yeah. Oh, listen, some of my colleagues played to the worst of the American people. And listen, somebody like Eric Swalwell, you saw how fast he fell because he was an awful, awful person. And he, lied repeatedly. Raskin has lied repeatedly. It doesn't help the American people. It doesn't serve our country or our body politics well. And frankly, there's people in Congress that are not serious and they don't belong there.
All right. Congressman, we really appreciate it. I'm glad you and your wife, are putting this behind you because there is a residual to this kind of a thing. People might not know that, but it just doesn't go away. I can tell you that from personal experience. But we appreciate your time tonight. If we can ever be of service, let us know, Congressman. Thank you.